see you all next time. Bye.
Uh-oh. Spidey sense is tingling. Gotta go. What just happened? You suck. Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at another Marvel Legends figure, and it's from the Captain America Giant Man Build-A-Wave. It's Nick Fury. And unfortunately, I know the vast majority of the community already knows, but fellow content creator Glenn Webb has passed away over the weekend, suddenly, unexpectedly, and has left this massive hole in our community, our toy reviewing community and collecting community, and I'm still in shock. I didn't believe it when I saw it on Facebook and had to jump around, and I started to see all the videos pouring out. I thought it was, okay, this is going to be some kind of a joke, and it wasn't. And, you know, I'm sad. I'm very, very sad. We've lost a fellow collector, a fellow YouTuber, and a friend. And my prayers go out to his friends and family. And as a community, I think the best way that we can honor Glenn is to keep moving forward with content. He inspired me so much on my channel. I take so much from him, his energy, you know, like I said, the turntable, and just he wanted me to make my channel better every day, and there are only a handful of guys out there that do that. So Glenn, I thank you, sir, and I dedicate the rest of this Bath Wave to Mr. Glenn Webb, as he was a huge Marvel Legends fan. He loved WWE figures, got me back into WWE figures, and Star Wars nuts. So if you want to check out his review on this figure, please follow the link, like his page, subscribe him. He just missed getting 100,000 subscribers, which the last time I checked, he was well over 104,000. So, you know, God bless you, man. Thank you for creating so much wonderful entertainment and content. I just can't believe we're not going to see Mr. Snippity Snip or Stan Lee Knife on screen again, and I'm hoping you've got a great big playlist up there in the sky. So with that being said, this guy, I got this guy at my local Kroger down here on the south side of Indianapolis in the Greenwood area. They had cases of this wave and the Absorbing Man wave for $16, and when I was going through the cases to get the Giant Man Build-A-Figure, I was expecting Black Panther to actually be the short pack figure, and it turned out this guy was. They only had 2 of him, and they had bucket tons of Panther, so that was really, really surprising to me. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at the packaging. Alright, and here we have Nick Fury in box, and some of you out there may be like, whoa, wait a minute, Ultra Maximus, that's not Nick Fury, he's white. Well, kiddos, back in the day, Nick Fury used to be a white guy before Sam Jackson took over the role. Actually, that's not really true. He was, they made him a black character, I think, in the Ultimate Universe just as the MCU was coming about, because I think they knew Sam was going to play the role. And this is what he looked like back before all that, which as a kid, I remember Nick Fury as. However, I was never a Nick Fury fan, really. I never cared much for the character, and every time I see this version of him, I think of that really horrible TV movie with David Hasselhoff as Nick Fury, and I much prefer the Sam Jackson version, and there's a few Sam Jackson figures out there I need to pick up. So this would have been a pass for me, but I needed the build-up part. And he does come with a couple extra heads. I'll probably just use this as a standard S.h.i.e.L.D. officer. I'm liking the helmet there. So we'll see once we get him out of the package how cool he actually is. Same package style we've been getting, Legend Series Captain America in the comic book version. We get the cap shield up there. We get a picture of Grumpy Nick Fury. Just a close-up, there he is. Definitely digging the alternate heads on the guy. Artwork is okay. Again, he's just kind of a blasé character for me. Artwork on the back, looking halfway decent. We get the tiniest of write-ups on him. So if you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. And then here are all the other figures to build a Giant Man. So that pretty much does it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Nick Fury out of box and see what we think. And here we have Nick Fury out of package, and I've got mixed feelings about this figure on a couple different levels. He does come with an arm for Giant Man, which is really cool. And he does come with a couple interchangeable heads, which we will take a look at here in a second. The figure itself, things I like about it, things I don't. I was never much of a Nick Fury fan from the original comics, so this is just kind of a so-so figure for me. I appreciate the fact that we get the classic comic book Nick Fury. It'd been nice if we got a head that had a cigar that he was chewing on. However, we do get 2 additional heads, so I can't really complain too much. However, what I can complain about is the QC on this figure. This thing is so loosey-goosey. Look at this. Breaking the law, breaking the law. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. Like, the whole thing's loose. This is the Bucky Cap mold. The hips are loose, the upper diaphragm's loose, and even the neck joint up there, very, very loose. I don't know if that's just the mold degradation finally starting to set in, or this is just kind of a bad figure. If you've got this figure and it does the same thing, leave a comment, or if yours is super tight and stiff, that's what she said. Leave a comment down below. That being said, the other thing that annoys me is the fact that we do have a holster for his weapon here on his leg, which is cool, but the other weapon is molded in. Boo! I'm so upset about that. Why can't we just have a little gun that just sits there? That would have been way cooler. Now, on the positive side, and I'll get to this more in the closer look of the figure, I do like the paint washes on the belt. Very, very cool. So definitely neat. Now, as far as articulation goes on this guy, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same as the other figures that we've received. His head looks that far down, looks that far forward. It does twist around. His arms go out pretty far. There is a twist at the shoulder. There's a twist at the upper arm bicep. There is a double jointed elbow, which is cool. We get a twist at the wrist. There is a hinge at the wrist, which is very cool. He does have an ab crunch that can go that far forward. It goes up very, very slightly. There is no twist at the waist, which I don't know if it's this figure, but I would have thought it'd have a twist. His legs go out about that far. They go that far forward. They don't really go back far at all. There's a twist at the upper thigh. He does have a double jointed knee. There is no twist. Oh, there is a twist at the boot. Huzzah! And then he's got a hinge at the ankle. And it has that crazy ankle rocker pivot that Glenn loved. With this being his widest possible stance with both feet flat on the floor. Now, like I said, he does have some interchangeable heads on him. He kind of looks like a broken little doll there. I mean, the joints on this guy so loose, so frustrating. But at least he does come with a couple extra heads, so we're going to rip this one off. And I mean, the head even pops off super loosey-goosey. And then we get this head. If I can get it on there. This one's kind of tight to get on. There we go. He's got this kind of stormtrooper looking head. This is of course a generic agent of s.h.i.e.L.D. Helmet, which is very cool. Definitely digging that. One thing I will note is that this is not glued on and will slide up and down on the leg, and then this piece is also just kind of sitting there, not glued on by any means. But yeah, as I'm not a huge Nick Fury fan, I'll probably just go ahead and keep this helmet on him. He also comes with a Dirk Anger head, which is kind of weird, but it looks good. I like it. It's yeah, very, very cool, well sculpted. The paint apps on the top of my head are not very good. There's some brown or flesh tone seeping through. Again, just bad QC. If you don't know who Dirk Anger is, he's kind of an over-the-top parody of Nick Fury in Marvel's Next Wave books. He was like, I think over 90 or 100 years old because he took a lot of aging retardation drugs. And he had an Aeromarine, which was, instead of the helicarrier, which is an aircraft carrier, it was a bunch of submarines bolted together with rockets on it or something. And he ran HATE, the highly anti-terrorist something or other, instead of S.h.i.e.L.D., which kind of interesting. So pick up the comics, check him out. He ends up killing himself he tried to hang himself, didn't work. Ends up ramming his ship into the Next Wave ship and telling everybody to F off as he goes, I think. It was a very, very strange character. But it's kind of cool to get that head to add on there because we'd never get this character by itself. And if you like the weird niche characters, that's definitely a plus for pickup. Now, taking a closer look at the head sculpt on the figure, I do like it. I appreciate it. It looks good. I like the design. I don't think he's got enough snarl on his face, though. But I like the paint apps, the 5 o'clock shadow, the gray. The eye patch looks really, really good. And I like how the gray kind of goes around the entire head there. This really does remind me of the classic Nick Fury. The belts on the figure, very well done. I'm very impressed by the white belt with the kind of dark blue-gray wash over it. It kind of gives it that worn-in look, which is really, really nice. I just wish that the gloves and the boots had the same look. They're a lot wider than the actual belts. And the gun, the little pea shooter, it works. It looks like a gun that Nick Fury would use. It's just kind of a light gray. Also looks like something that Cobra Commander would use, which is really, really weird. But the dark blue on the suit looks really cool. And the other thing I really appreciate are the S.h.i.e.L.D. logos on his shoulder. The silver and the black, and there's even some red and blue in there if you get in real close. They did a really good job, and it looks really, really crisp. And here's a closer look at the Dirk Anger head sculpt. Again, I like this head sculpt. This is just such a niche character. Very animated. Mine's got some QC issues as far as the hair goes, but I could fix that with some paint. I love the optical piece around his right eye, the translucent green, and then the silver painted piece that's bolted onto his head. Of course, again, he's a parody and almost a mirror image of Nick Fury, so instead of an eye patch on the left eye, he's got this enhanced cybernetic piece that's over his right eye that looks really, really cool and just kind of a fun thing to have. I may keep a Dirk Anger head on there. I may use the, Trooper head. I don't know. And here we have a look at the S.h.i.e.L.D. agent helmet or trooper helmet. Really, really digging this. Very well done. I like the gold and the silver paint apps. Very cool. This could be any S.h.i.e.L.D. agent under there. You could troop build with this guy. It reminds me of a Cobra villain, though, especially with that gun. Definitely very cool. This is probably going to be the head I leave on this figure because I prefer the Sam Jackson version of Nick Fury just because I like the character in the movie so much. And I never really cared for the classic comic character, but really do dig this S.h.i.e.L.D. helmet. So taking a closer look at the midsection, again, the belt's very cool. They do hang on the figure, they're not glued on. I like all the pouches around his belt. Very cool. That wash detail is amazing. We get some nice silver paint apps on the buckles. He's got a little gun on his shoulder harness, but it's molded in. I wish that was not so. I think Nick Fury should have 2 guns. Both hands are posed to actually hold guns, but only one gun. It's unfair, unfair. Well, maybe not. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure. Again, I like those paint wash details on the belts and his holster there on his leg. Just be careful because that rides up really, really easy when you go to pose the figure. It is not bolted in at all. The boots, again, I mean, they're accurate, but they're so white in comparison to the belts. I kind of wish they gave it the same treatment. The boots more so than the gloves, because the gloves are not quite as stark white, or there's just a lot less white on them than the boots, and it really sticks out to me. I suppose I could go ahead and weather them myself, but it would have been nice to see some consistency in the white paint on the figure. For comparison, here we have the classic Nick Fury with the ultimate Nick Fury and, of course, Red Guardian, his wave mate in this series. And, I still want a Sam Jackson Nick Fury. I'm still on the hunt for one of those. I really like the ultimate Nick Fury. I think he looks pretty cool, looks very much like the comics. But so does the classic Nick Fury. I mean, they both are very comic accurate, which is very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm not a big Nick Fury fan, but I think the character is done pretty well in this mold. So is Nick Fury, or classic Nick Fury, a figure that you want in your Marvel collection? If you're building Giant Man, you gotta get this guy. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, unless you want to buy the part individually. If you like Nick Fury and you collect your completist, then you'll probably want this. If you like the old Nick Fury, you're gonna like this figure. It is well done, it looks nice, and it comes with some really cool interchangeable heads. My biggest complaints on the guy, one's QC on this particular figure. I don't know if it's all of them or just this one. Just very loosey-goosey. It doesn't hamper the posability or the joints, but when you actually pick him up, I mean, he just rattles around. I like the Dirk Anger head sculpt. I think that looks nice. Again, I had paint QC issues on mine. The S.h.i.e.L.D. agent helmet, very, very cool. I definitely dig that. And I love the paint wash detail that's on the belt. It gives it a very weathered look, but it stands out against the gloves and the boots. And I guess that those are nitpicks. Overall, it's a decent figure. He's just not my favorite figure. So, for better or for worse, there he is. Nick Fury, Agent of S.h.i.e.L.D.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.